If you are single right now and you feel like you need to be in a relationship, just remember, brother, sometimes you don't have to go out looking for it. And I know that that sort of doesn't make sense, because how can you find something if you're not looking for it? But with some things, I just believe inherently that it just finds you. For the previous months, I was living the life of a Disney prince, the likes of Prince Charming, those dudes who are there fighting and slaying dragons. Yeah, that was me. And that's purely because I had found my princess. And I know that that sounds funny, because today we are operating with the mindset of something like that doesn't exist. But hey, it does. Trust me. I feel like we're just afraid. We are scared. You know, I was talking to this one adventurer this one day, and he told me that his first heartbreak taught him to not trust people wholeheartedly. It taught him to not love wholeheartedly. And I could tell that he was scarred from that heartbreak. When you love someone, when you're truly invested in them, when something happens, and when they betray you, it leaves a scar, but it is worth you healing from that. It's actually worth it. You know, and the funny thing is that after having gone through that heartbreak, you now know how to better navigate the relationship. So why is it that you are withdrawing? Why is it that you're saying that you're not going to, you know, fully love someone? Then what's the point of being in a relationship if that's the case? That's something that I'm asking myself. And being that you're now wise, you're in a position to love someone wisely. You are now able to communicate clearer, or to just navigate the dynamics of a healthy relationship with ease, because you know that if there's something that needs to be addressed, you're going to be in a position to better address that, because you've been through that, right? And that's something that we're going to delve more into in another video, because today's video is not about that. And the interesting part about it is because I didn't go out there looking for it, or looking for her rather, but I remember it was this one specific day where I saw her. That was my first time seeing her. And something me just said that, you know what, brother, I've met a couple of girls, but you see, that one, I would go down on one knee for that one, put a rock on a finger. But hey, stuff happened, man. And currently, we're riding solo. And, just looking back at it, it's 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 been one quite of an awesome experience. I'm glad, or I'm actually proud of myself for having had the courage to actually be in that relationship with the lady, because looking back at it, it actually showed me that, you know there's something in me that was hiding all along, or it just made me grow as a being. I'm a better person because of what I went through. The heartbreak taught me a bunch of things that I wouldn't have learned if it hadn't happened. And I'm not saying I'm proud it happened, because, for like I said, I was even telling myself that I would go down on one knee and put a rock on a finger. That's how serious it was, or I was invested. But yeah, man, it's life and things happen. So, long story short, the prince in shining armor lost his princess during the way. The union broke, and yeah, here we are, like I said, running solo. Today I just want to address this one thing with you guys specifically, guys of you who can relate, who are single as well. Either you've been in a relationship and like you got your heart broken, or something happened, it doesn't matter, but the fact that you're single, I want to talk to you guys. So after the breakup, I told myself that in as much as it was painful, and in as much as I didn't want to go through that. I had to suck it up and just make sure that I see what's on the other side, man. And that happened. Hey, I tried to engage in those healing activities. Just I went back to meditation. Someone who's been to self improvement, that's something where I started. I used to meditate almost every day, and yeah, I just looked back and I was like, that's something that could actually help me heal. I did that, and I just continued on building myself as a being, trying to make sure that I'm in one piece for the next relationship, just sort of preparing myself, but just making sure that I find the time to heal, as I've been talking about trauma in this channel. And if you haven't gone through that, I'll link the video in the description. You can just go and check it out. So the process went, and I tried to heal myself, and hey, I can say that I'm in a better place in comparison to where I was when we broke up. And just recently, I told myself that, what, I've been working on myself, man, and perhaps it's time for me to see what's on the other side, just talk to people and see where I end. There was this one girl that I I introduced myself to just a couple of months after the heartbreak, after having gone through the phase of trying to put myself in one piece again. And I can say that she's quite cool and everything, but there's just this something that's missing. Can't point what it is, but just from intuition, I can tell that something is missing. I don't know if it's because my heart or my mind is still used to how things were in my past relationship, but I just sort of had to go back and remind myself that, for the beautiful things in life, sometimes you don't have to go out there looking for them, but they just find you, mate. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but brother, one day you'll just look back and say, yeah, that guy with the blue bottle, he had a point. And that's what I'm aiming to achieve right now. I just hope that whenever you go out there, just remember this message. If there's anything that you're going to take from this video, is that be the best version of yourself. Become the best you possible. And eventually, you will find the person. Make sure that you just the best you possible, man. Become the person who you will be proud to date if we were to flip the narrative, right? Do not now go and bother yourself because I'm saying you shouldn't go out there looking for love for someone. No, talk to people, but talk to them with the idea of, I'm just trying to get to know you. I genuinely just am interacting with you because you are a being, I'm a being, and and ultimately, if there is that someone, you will tell, right? This thing is your gut feeling, brother. That thing does not lie. If you go out looking for love, you're going to find it. But 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to be what is actually meant for you. Until next time, let us change the narrative. Stay vibe.